Several employees fired here at BAIC.
Police investigating a video showing officers beating a man as they try to get him in a squad car. We've got that story for you straight ahead.
Our news is brought to you by Alive, the nation's newest and best LTE network.
Good to be alive.
Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. I'm Kyle WALKINE. Topping news tonight, a number of employees of the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation found themselves locked out this morning, and now members of the opposition are blasting the Minister administration over their reported terminations. Giorgio Bain tells us more.
Well, as you can see just behind me, security officers are blocking the access road here at BAIC, as we're told that several employees received their letters of unemployment, but according to the leader of the Progressive Liberal Party, he believes is politically involved. Our news was on site this morning where police officers were called in, but opposition leader Philip Brave Davis says little to no explanations were given to those employees who received letters of termination.
Well, I was advised about an hour ago by the chairman of our party that information has reached him is that a number of employees were locked out of entering the workplace, BAIC, and that later on police officers were called and are presently on site, and no reasons were given other than there has been and has for quite some time rumors that there'll be a disengagement of a number of employees from BAIC. And more particularly, we suspect that most of them are persons who are known to have supported the Progressive Liberal Party over the years.
ANTHON Thompson has been with the corporation for 15 years and was left dumbfounded after being informed that he must now join the unemployment line. According to Thompson, the letter details that he has been disengaged due to negligence of his duties. However, he has never received any warnings.
I'm being pushed on the unemployment line unfairly and unjustly. This is unacceptable. And I say to you, Hubert Minnis, Prime Minister of this nation, I am looking forward to you. I am calling on you to correct this wrong. This is nonsense. You said it's the people's time. I am a Bahamian, so I am a part of the people. And I'm calling on you, sir, as Prime Minister of this country, to call into account BAIC's executive board, BAIC's executive chairman, Michael Folks, BAIC's general manager, and all persons who had a hand in this nasty thing that has happened to me today. I have a family to feed. I am a responsible parent. I take care of my bills. I am a contributing citizen of this country. I do not deserve this.
This latest round of dismissals comes 1 week after the latest labor force survey revealed that more than 2,500 government employees have been sent home between May and November of 2017. PLP Chairman Senator Fred Mitchell says this government's tactics of slimming down the public service is going to negatively impact the country overall and put a strain on social services.
It is a misdirected economic policy which was discredited in the era of the United States under Reagan. This business that you have to tighten up your belt and that's the way you're going to improve the economy. I'm sorry, Keynes is still the man. You have to spend your way out of a recession. If you're in a recession, particularly in a consumer-driven economy and consumer-driven revenue, you have to have people at work. And the moment you take them out of work, then the economy contracts.
According to Davis, an explanation must be given as to why these persons were let go. Now, while here at BAIC, our news team attempted to speak with Chairman Michael Folks. Unfortunately, he did not come outside to speak with our news team. Reporting for our news, I'm Giorgio Bain.
Well, BAIC released a statement later today saying the disengagement exercise by the management and board of directors today is under review. Crews are close to completely extinguishing a fire at the New Providence landfill. That's according to Environment Minister ROMAULD, who says this seemingly good news comes as his ministry prepares to advance the process of finding a new manager for the landfill.
We've been advised this morning that the fire incident at the New Providence sanitary landfill is in its final throes. We hope to have it extinguished very, very shortly and move on. And today is also the day that, by the end of the day, the persons who were shortlisted through the expression of interest process, they'll be notified, as well as the persons who won't. as we move that process forward, because there's really only one long-term fix to that, and that's to the New Providence Sanitary Landfill, and that is the deconstruction of the site, which is to open it up, see what's there, and then remediate what's there, and then properly manage and design a new one moving forward.
In the short term, FERREIRA says they've taken certain steps to mitigate the problem as much as they can.
Well, what we have been doing is stockpiling fill and compacting and covering. I don't want to comment on the origins of fire the origin of the fire that's under police investigation, but the Department of Environmental Health Services, which falls under the Ministry of Environment, has stepped in and managed the landfill after Renew Bahamas' abrupt departure. So we will manage the landfill until the new entity takes it over.
Amid mounting concern over the state of banking in the Bahamas, 2 industry experts have expressed concern over inadequate education, corruption, and mortgage and lending laws. Their comments follow those of a Royal Bank of Canada executive who has questioned whether RBC should be committed to the Bahamas if the country is not committed to its own success. Bonnie 2 reports.
Senior Vice President of Sales for RBC's Caribbean arm, Tim Ryder, asserted this week that corruption, poor fiscal responsibility, outdated and detrimental mortgage and lending laws, and inadequate education and training have negatively affected the local banking industry. Therefore, he said, RBC has been making hard choices in order to survive. RBC recently rolled out a new digital platform and announced plans to consolidate several branches, which will result in staff cuts. Jennings, who is also the president of Commonwealth Bank, was asked to respond to Ryder's comments. He said the state of education in the country is no secret.
Population at large have been expressing concern about the state of our educational system for years. We keep talking about a D average. And I think, first of all, we have to recognize the fact that there are exceptional Bahamian students, but we're talking about the average student and the average outlook for somebody who's leaving school. We've talked about social promotion over the years and about the need to eliminate it. As a bank, the Commonwealth Bank, as a Bahamian bank, when we have applications for vacancies, we go through tens, maybe hundreds of applications before we hire anybody. And the reason why is because they don't meet the grade. It's a very serious social problem.
Former Managing Director of Scotiabank Bahamas, Barry Malcolm, says Ryder's harsh comments have hit a nerve, and there is a reason for that.
The comments that were made are fairly harsh, but I think there's a strong element of truth to the comments, which is why they have resonated.
Malcolm says this is especially the case when it relates to corruption, adding that this complaint has come from multiple sources.
Corruption in any society represents cost. Corruption in any society represents a diversion of resources from where they ought to be utilized to another source. That diagnosis on the Bahamas has come from multiple sources. If I have to go in to get licenses for whatever business, and a part of my cost of those licenses is not only the fees paid to government, but keeping persons who process those licenses for me happy.
Under the table,
that's a real cost that factors into what I have to invest.
Then there is the issue of mortgage relief. Ryder urged the government to revisit and adjust the country's lending infrastructure, insisting that laws like the Homeowners Protection Act hurt banks, while an inadequate and outdated land registry system frustrates the already strained mortgage system.
I don't think anybody in their right minds wants to see Bahamians lose their homes. But you have to understand the responsibilities of where there's commercial contracts have been entered into between 2 entities, and then you're going to come along in the middle of the game and change the contract. That introduces uncertainty, and you know that the one thing that business does not like is uncertainty. So now if you look, what's the position of the mortgage market now? Well, we have to really wait to see what's going to happen with court decisions on the Homeowners Protection Act, because it could very easily and simply destroy collateral value that the banks have in mortgages.
Jennings says it's a topic the Clearing Banks Association has raised with the current and former administrations. He says while government's intentions may be good, officials must also look at the unintended consequences. Reporting for R News, I'm Vonique Toot.
A viral video of several police officers struggling to get a suspect in a patrol car is under investigation by the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Jared Higgs tells us more about the video and the reaction it's provoked.
This encounter between several police officers and a shirtless suspect is currently under investigation by Deputy Commissioner of Police Emerick Seymour. According to a statement by the Royal Bahamas Police Force, the investigation was passed on to Seymour by Police Commissioner Anthony Ferguson. One officer is shown in the now viral video beating the detained man with what appears to be his billy club. Another officer intervenes, apparently beating the suspect as well. A crowd gathers and an officer in khaki uniform intervenes. The video goes on for more than 2 minutes, showing the suspect preventing the officer in the khaki uniform from closing the door. The officers eventually get the man, who onlookers call Daniel, into the vehicle. Of course, there was the backlash on social media. Some people supporting the officers, saying that they have to do their job and that the man was resisting. On the other side, some people say the officers used excessive force and didn't handle the situation well. But we spoke to one former officer who says that sometimes people don't appreciate the challenges of being an officer. OLRICE NIXON says he and his brother were police officers.
The thing is, the people do not respect them as they should, and they try to, when the police do something that they feel like is out of place, or it is in the right perspective of what they did, they make a bunch of noise until they get the true story about it.
The police investigation into this video follows the circulation of yet another video, which shows an officer striking a handcuffed man in the face as he is escorted past Prince George Wharf. As it relates to that video, National Security Minister Marvin Dames has said the public should not jump to conclusions before having all the facts. Reporting for our news, I'm Jared Higgs.
Months after the National Recovery and Reconstruction Unit was transferred to the Ministry of Works, the man who heads that ministry says that unit has significantly scaled down its payouts to only cover minor repairs. Works Minister Bannister says there is only so much the government can do with the millions allocated to help thousands of homeowners. Jasmine Brown reports.
Bannister says with only $10 million budgeted to fix hundreds of homes that were impacted by major storms over the last 2 years, only minor claims will be accepted. Just how minor? Well, according to Bannister, payouts will not top $4,000.
The critical issues is NRRU can only do so much. We can assist persons with claims up to $4,000. If you come with a claim of $40,000, $50,000, it is something that you may have to seek other assistance with another agency.
Bannister says the government has allocated $10 million to carry out repairs, but warned that it would no longer finance home rebuilding.
I can't expect us to keep digging into your pocket to be able to pay for persons who are not responsible. So, by the same token, if someone has a home that meets building code and they don't insure it, again, I can't ask you to be paying for them. There has to be a limit to what we do it.
In the House of Assembly last October, Bannister revealed that his ministry is overseeing the recovery process after the reconstruction unit was relocated from the Office of the Prime Minister to the Ministry of Public Works. The former government launched the National Recovery and Reconstruction Unit in the aftermath of Hurricane WALKINE in 2015 and reactivated it following Hurricane Matthew, which caused significant damage on New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Andros. During that same communication in the House of Assembly, Bannister revealed that the NRRU had at that time constructed 5 homes on Crooked Island, 3 on Acklins, 4 on San Salvador, and 12 on Long Island. When it comes to how much has been spent so far, Bannister would only say this.
I can't say. Not a significant portion of it yet. But we expect that with the hurricane season coming up, there'll be an increase in the pace at which matters move.
As for those homeowners who may feel they deserve more,
as I said in the House of Assembly when I spoke to this issue, it's absolutely critical for people to insure their homes. And we live in the hurricane belt, and so I cannot imagine that major hurricanes hit the Bahamas, and we have people who have actually made claims of $50,000, $60,000 for home repairs because they haven't insured their homes. That is highly irresponsible. It is a message that we need to send out, that we need to insure our homes. We need to invest in that because that's the biggest investment you make in your life.
Reporting for R News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Fit February is in full effect. Every Friday for the month of February, R News is highlighting one personal trainer and letting them put me through the ultimate workout bound to get your muscles going. Tonight we get things kicked off with THEO PYFROM, better known as King Wolf of Wolf Fitness.
Ready, buddy? Ready? I think so. Let's do it. Ready as all of us. Going down. Wolf Fitness.
THEO PYFROM is a fitness trainer and owner of Wolf Fitness. At the age of 25, he's a men's physique competitor and a believer in the overall well-being of the human body. So it was a given he'd kick off Fit February.
Today we're going to be working on a little bit of cardiovascular endurance, muscular endurance, and a little bit of muscular strength.
You say endurance?
Endurance.
This means you're going to be going for a while.
For a while. Got it. On the clock.
I was as mentally prepared for it as I could be. Or was I? Of course, we started with a bit of stretching, then a warm-up.
Oh yeah, that's a burn. Yeah. That's a burn right there. Yeah. Last 10 seconds, then we're gonna take it down to a palm plank. 5, 4, 3, 2, hands down. Shoulders right above the palms, stomach engaged, heels all the way up. Keep it tight. So we wanna separate those shoulder blades, push away from the floor.
And then we got to the workout, which I thought was light till I started doing it, beginning with 20 reps on the bench.
3, 2, and rack it. Yes. Awesome. All right, now bring it over here. We're gonna go to Met ball slams to the floor, to Met ball slams to the wall. This is gonna be a tough one. All right, we're going heels up, ball goes up above the head, power. I'm gonna get 5 slams to the floor, and then we're gonna brace ourselves. Nice tight stomach, slight bends in the knees. Forward, wall toss for 20. So that's 5 slams, whoa, and 20 wall tosses. Ready? Get a little closer. 3, 2, slam it, floor, go. 1, as hard as you can. Harder, let's go.
We kept that going, and oh, no breaks.
Rest. Now, our motto, level up. This is what we do all day. This is what we do all week, every month, every year. So now, what we're gonna do is add more weight to your bench press, but of course we're gonna drop your reps. So instead of 20, we're gonna take it down to 15. 3, push. 2, last one, up, 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 and wrap. Perfect. Same thing happens to the wall and the ball.
And after 3 sets of all that, I finally got a minute break.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Good job. I'm gonna give you 1 minute to recover.
You get to
breathe.
I get to rest.
You get to call your girl, tell her you're still alive. You got it. Let's do this. 1 minute, whatever you need to do. Take some water because we're going into our next segment. We're not done, Kyle. It's not done yet.
And after that minute, it was back to work.
5, 6, perfect. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yes. I'm taking it to the ropes, right to it. 10 jump slams. We got 3 sets, Kyle. You know what it is. Jump and slap. 4. Put some body into it. 2, 3, 4. Slam it harder. 5. There we go. 6, 7. Harder. Come on. 8, 9, and 10. 30 seconds on the reps. 30 seconds. How's your heart rate feeling? Out of your chest, right? Boom. You got 30 seconds and then we're back to it. Set number 2. The party never stops. The party never stops. You're feeling swole, right?
Yeah.
Chest is saying, hello, weekend.
30 seconds never felt so short.
Now we're talking. 8. Get it. 9. Push. Push it, Kyle. Let's go. Up, up, up. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get it. Right to the ropes. Right to the ropes. You gotta handle it. You gotta handle it. Do it. Big slams. 10 slams. All out. 10. There we go. 9. Hard.
After another set of that, it was on to abs.
20. Last 10. Don't stop. 10. Last 10. Go. 9. 8. Keep it up. Take control. Control it. You got 30 seconds. Make sure that stomach is super tight. 7. It's all you. 6. Take it all the way back. 5. Don't shortcut it. There we go. 4. 3. Control it. 2. Last one up. Not a mercy. Fire in the hole.
And just when I thought it was done,
we're halfway there, Kyle. Breathe and squeeze. It's all you. Push. Push. Come on. Last 10. Now. 8. 7. 6. Work. 5. 4. 3. 2, and yes. That's what I'm talking about. Beast mode, bruv. Hey.
That's it?
That's it.
I did it?
You did it.
Woo!
Yeah. You made it. Man's hot. Yeah.
I did it.
That's a good one, boy. Good one. Total body. Mainly upper body in the chest and shoulders, but during your jump slams, you got a lot of legs in there. Doing your crunches, you got a lot of abs in there, shoulders, lower back, glutes. So it's a total body effort.
So what was the purpose of very little rest here?
Very little rest to keep your heart rate up so you burn calories while still strength training and stimulating the muscle fibers. You can find us on Instagram or Facebook at Wolf Fitness Club. And then from there, we can answer all of your questions, send you the location pin if you have problems finding us.
Still to come on our news, the Ministry of Environment and Housing signs an MOU to protect Bahamian straw. The details are after this break.